Hello, and thanks for joining us, folks, for this midweek NBA action. Now, the starting group for the Milwaukee Bucks. Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. Holiday out there with Dante DiVincenzo. And it's Lopez in at the 5. And for the Clippers, they've got Paul George. Marcus Morris is out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Beverly in at the 5. Now, here's Leonard over Middleton. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Easy chance from mid-range. Wouldn't be surprised to see them run that play again.
And Smitty, with LeBron getting into his late 30s, KD coming off the Achilles, for your money, is Kawhi Leonard the best player in the world?
Great question. I know one player, the Greek Freak, might have something to say about that. No less than Michael Jordan himself called Kawhi the best two-way player in the game. That's a very strong endorsement from MJ.
And so the Milwaukee Bucks get the first points of the ballgame. Middleton with it. Guarded now by Morris. Holiday, the pass to DiVincenzo. No good on the triple. And George, here we go. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist.
This is what Cousins gives you. Good recognition. The ability to make plays for his teammates.
Bounce pass, Holiday. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
I mean, few guards absorb contact as well as Holiday. In fact, he often delivers as much punishment as he takes.
Now, here's George. He can't hit that time. Here's Middleton. The drive by Giannis. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts.
Yeah, I mean, the ball handling and body control for a guy that's Giannis's height, it's really impressive.
Beverly with the ball. Over in the corner, Cousins. Rebound, Milwaukee. And it's Cousins with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Clippers making a switch here. Rondo's checked in. And just under 2.5 minutes elapsed here in the first. Middleton right side. Back to DiVincenzo. 6 to shoot. Milwaukee needs to get off a shot here. And to Kumbo. He drains it as the shot clock ticks down. Giannis has got 6. The importance of the three-point shot never greater than right now. And in your eyes, there are some players who are just absolutely dead, solid, perfect from distance.
No doubt about it. And you know, there's 3 guys to me, though, that kind of separate themselves. And it's one, because you have to honor their ability equally off the dribble, from 3, and at attacking the paint. Steph Curry, James Harden, and Damian Lillard. Those 3 guys can all hit pull-ups and step-backs from range off the dribble. They all got great vision, you know, so they can take advantage of defenses that get caught loading a little too much. And then they also are terrific in the paint at getting to the free throw line. So those are the 3 guys, I think, that create the most havoc when you start talking about having a guard the three-point line.
Challenging the defense at the rim, something he does very well. Excellent tip-in.
George, no good. Bucks leading by 6. On the wing, DiVincenzo. Pass to Holiday. Kicks it to Middleton. The 3. And he's good on the 3 ball.
The underrated vision of Holiday. I like it when he's distributing, and I think his coach does as well.
Here's George. The rebound by the Bucks. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Zubac is checked in for Cousins. Batum comes in for Marcus Morris. Kennard, he's checked in for Leonard. And it's Jackson in for George. And then for Milwaukee, Portis. He's checked in for Lopez. P.J. Tucker comes in for Antetokounmpo. And it's back Connaughton in for Dante DiVincenzo. Now Jackson following Drew Holiday's three-point attempt. Zubac's in the post. And the whistle blows. It'll be on Pat Connaughton. That is his first foul of the game. Here's Jackson. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
If you play Reggie to take it all the way, this is what he can do. Quick floater over the top.
Pulls it from the elbow. And he wills that one in. Sinking right through off the back iron.
If you're waiting for him to miss when he's that open, you're going to be in for a long wait.
Connects from three-point range.
You know, a little inconsistent from deep when he first entered the league. Jackson now an emerging three-point threat.
And so it's the Milwaukee Bucks with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising game inside, and it's working for them. And don't go away.
Old school basketball, to be honest.
Now, pound for pound, Greg, Beverly may be the most physical player in the league.
And he also gets in your head. It's a combination that allows him to get stops against guys as big as Kevin Durant.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Bucks, guys.
Way to set the table. Offensively, they dominated on the interior.
They came in looking to attack from the get-go, willing to be physical and setting the tone.
On the court for Milwaukee here in the second, Portis is out there with P.J. Tucker. And there's Teague, and it's Forbes in at the shooting guard position. Passes it to Connaughton. Just 3 to shoot, and the rejection by Zubac. Jackson has the open look. That one wide left.
Rare for him to get a wide open shot from mid-range and fail to connect.
Now here's Tucker. Defense is right there. Great D that time from Batum. Here's man. Teague covering. Outside Batum. They grab their own miss. Zubac. Pass to Kennard. On the wing, Jackson. Nailed from three-point land. Jackson's got 8.
Nice play. Usually Reggie prefers to initiate, but this time gets it done off the catch.
The pass to Portis. Back to Teague. Lets it go from 11. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Bucks lead by 5.
Must put a body on Portis. He loves to crash the offensive glass.
Jackson passes to Mann. Back to Jackson. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. And he makes good on the layup.
Beautiful call that time up the floor. The hard screen frees him up for the bunny.
Bucks leading by 3.
And at his peak, Reggie Jackson is one of the better guards in the league. He's still got that confidence.
Yes, he does. Injuries slowed him down, but still able to create his shot anytime he wants.
Los Angeles has gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Mann passes to Kennard. Zubac with it. Jackson from long range. Jeff Teague with the rebound.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
This is his first free throw of the game. And Greg, you play with some big personalities. Talk about the best way to manage egos and conflicts in the locker room. That's a very interesting topic.
No doubt about it. You know, Kev, first thing you learn from middle school on, your team is your family. And let's face it, all families have spats, and so do teams. You just learn to never personalize those things. Never leave any stone unturned. Like, don't let things fester. When there are issues, you address them. And if you're not taking things personally, you tend to be able to work through whatever issues you may come in front of.
Good advice. Pass to Middleton. Tucker with the ball. And it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins. Clippers trail by 3. All going up court. George finds Morris. Beverly wide open. For the 3. Morris, no good. And for Milwaukee, they're shooting at 44%, pretty reasonable. Here's Antetokounmpo, and it goes down 2 points. Antetokounmpo's got 8 points.
It's just hard to match up with Antetokounmpo's speed, especially in the open floor.
Outside, George. From deep three-point range, Milwaukee with the rebound. Giannis has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Milwaukee leading by 5. Outside Holiday. Inside, it's stolen by Morris. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Leonard against Holiday. And it's Leonard missing. And so Holiday will bring it up for the Milwaukee Bucks. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Great D that time from Leonard.
There is the value of great rim protection without fouling, forcing the miss.
And that'll do it for the first half. All right, David, thank you. And stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey again, everybody. Milwaukee came out looking very confident. Tenacious on both ends of the floor. They took command.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at Antetokounmpo in this one. He's been everywhere.
Man, he's been running wild on them through that first half. Absolute dynamite on offense.
This is his challenge, to continue to dominate, to help them try to close strong here in the second half.
Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Patrick Beverly. And it's George in at the 2. That's the group starting the second half for Tyronn Lue. And Giannis throws it down.
And guys, that's a sight we've become far too accustomed to seeing. Antetokounmpo throwing it down like it was just another day at the office.
George, no good. Bucks leading by 7. Bounce pass, Holiday. Middleton on the wing. Shot, high post. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. The Clippers shooting a low 30% right now. An ugly offensive performance. Leonard against Middleton. Lays it up off the glass. Leonard's got his first basket of the night.
The decision-making of Leonard could have hit the roller, but already had the shot he wanted.
Giannis passes to Middleton. Now Lopez. Outside Holiday. Pass to DiVincenzo. Just 4 to shoot. And the rejection by Cousins.
He is so reliable. DeMarcus making a play and making it look easy.
Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. Beverly's got his first 2 points.
Oh, how about the finesse there? Nice little gentle touch on the board.
And you know, when you have that gentle touch, those tip-ins are easy to come by. Stolen by Beverly. George finds Leonard. Bucks leading by 3.
And Smitty, you know what Pat Beverly is going to bring every night. A fearless, ferocious, at times almost sociopathic level of intensity. And this guy just does not take a possession off.
You know, he's one of those guys I would have to question even playing with him. He plays so hard. I know I hate playing against him.
Outside Holiday. Back to Giannis. It's tipped. It's stolen by Morris. Here we go, one-on-one. Beverly for three. George looking over the floor. Dishes to Leonard. For the lead. Good D by Lopez.
You know what, though? They keep calling his number despite the difficult quarter he's had.
Antetokounmpo, no good. The Clippers have gone 3 of 7 on field goal attempts here in the second half. Outside Leonard. Count it, and the foul. It goes on Giannis Antetokounmpo.
You see the power right there from Kawhi. Absorbs contact and able to convert right through it.
And Los Angeles will go for a different look here. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Morris. Luke Kennard comes in for DeMarcus Cousins. Reggie Jackson's checked in for George. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Patrick Beverly. That one's good, and the Clipper lead is cut to just one on the basket from Jeff Teague.
And with those points, he puts an end to that 10-0 run by Los Angeles.
Rondo drives in. Leonard, count the bucket, coming off a perfectly placed assist. Leonard's got the lead up to 3 now for Los Angeles. The Bucks have gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Passes it to Connaughton. To the left side wing. Batum with the steal. Leonard on the wing. Defended by Portis. Leonard, no luck.
His inability to make shots has not brought this team down. That shows you their resourcefulness.
The putback. And that'll be Milwaukee as it goes out of bounds. Bucks retain possession. Zubac is checked in for Los Angeles. 34 seconds left to play here in the third. Portis can't get it to go.
Unusual for him, just a lack of concentration. Fails to finish the play.
Batum passes to Rondo. Pass to Zubac. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Now it's a 5-point Clipper lead.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
Here's Teague. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And we've watched 3 so far in this one. Clippers lead by 5. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. And a chance right now to show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
You know, it takes good vision and it takes good decision making right there. He showed both, and he did so at a very high level.
Well, what a terrific game it's been so far, with this fourth quarter sure to bring more pressure-packed basketball. And Milwaukee, looking at who they've got. They've got P.J. Tucker. He's out there with Bobby Portis. Chris Middleton is out there with Holiday. And it's Connaughton in at the 2-guard spot. Los Angeles leading by 5. Here's Cousins. There's the pass to Kennard. And there's the whistle. 3-second violation. A different look for Milwaukee. Brook Lopez is checked in for Bobby Portis. Antetokounmpo comes in for P.J. Tucker. And it's Dante DiVincenzo in for Pat Connaughton. Pass to DiVincenzo. No good on that one. Some solid defense there from Jackson. Mann passes to Cousins. Here's Mann. Fires the 3. The rebound by the Bucks. Antetokounmpo's got 6 rebounds in the game. And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That's his 3rd foul of the game. So, for the Clippers, Morris is checked in for Batum. Paul George comes in for Luke Kennard. And it's Patrick Beverly in for Jackson. Holiday goes in. Giannis outside. The kick out to Lopez. Over Morris. Shakes him. Good on that shot. And with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 3 on the bucket from Lopez.
And I tell you, Antetokounmpo's evolved into one of the better passing forwards in our league. And when the defense is focused on you that much, you need to be able to find the open man.
Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
Smooth off the bounce with the strength to finish through contact. Paul George showing us how it's done.
Last quarter of play, about 2 minutes in now. Holiday dishes to Antetokounmpo. He doesn't hit that one. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. Beverly finds Cousins. Yes, that goes in. Cousins has got the lead up to 7 now for Los Angeles.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Antetokounmpo against Morris. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Man, with that skill set at 6'11", Giannis might be the toughest guard in the league. Wow, what, did he have something in his eye on that shot?
Maybe. And the Clippers making a change here. Leonard's checked in. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Brook Lopez.
The nuances that Kawhi has added to his game. That time, the little up fake.
Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard.
We've seen him put a lot of pressure on the defense and then cash in at the line.
Here's Antetokounmpo, and the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
This team hasn't picked up the slack, but he's doing everything he can do to win this game for them.
And Beverly kicks to Cousins. Outside, George. The rebound by the Bucks. Good on that shot, and with that, the Los Angeles lead is cut down now to just 5 on the basket from Antetokounmpo. And here's George. He'll bring it up for Los Angeles. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Morris outside. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Antetokounmpo.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
Fantastic anticipation. He has active hands. Even though he doesn't come away with the turnover, he's disrupting their offensive flow.
Just 2 to shoot, and they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation. Bucks trail by 5. Lopez outside. Takes a 3. Cousins pulls it in.
Okay, when you're trying to make a comeback, you can't be hucking up low percentage threes. You have to find a better shot within the offense.
Morris finds Leonard. Lays it up and banks it in. And the Clippers lead by 7.
One of the more physical wings in the league. Kawhi gets smacked there, but not to be denied.
Here's Holiday. Antetokounmpo trying to free himself up. It falls! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
Incredible. Holiday, a determined player, a competitive player, takes over when it counts.
Outside, George. Floats it up for Cousins.
Excellent pass, CG13, keeping his eyes up, using his vision.
Guys, let's just go ahead and call this one. It's over.
They couldn't make enough plays when it mattered. Interesting game, though, in terms of some of the matchups.
Giannis drives in. Count it.
And a big-time playmaker. When the game is up for grabs, give the rock to Giannis.
From deep, George. The shot misses. And so Los Angeles takes the win. All right, David, thank you. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. Here's a look at who's out for the evening.
And with both teams at less than full strength, we'll have to see which side is able to remain more effective.
Here are the starters for Brooklyn. They've got Harris. Griffin is out there with DeAndre Jordan. Then it's Harden, and it's Brown in at the shooting guard position. And for Los Angeles, DeMarcus Cousins out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then it's Paul George, and it's Beverly in at the 1 spot. Some veterans on these teams, Clark. What are you looking for and how that will impact the game?
Well, I think both of these teams have a really solid roster. And I love the blend of experience and youth. When you have NBA experience on the floor, there's just a level of play that you see at the defensive end that makes it enjoyable for me. I think that's what we'll see tonight. Experienced pros getting after it.
Here's Griffin. It's good. The assist that time from Harden. Griffin's got his second bucket.
That's platinum level dime dropping right there by Harden. Such a smart passer. Gets us to his teammates on time and on target.
Now here's Leonard. Morris, left side, puts it up. And that one's on target from the wing.
Boy, at the offensive end, his game is so impressive. I mean, he's a threat every time up the floor.
Harden surveying the D. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
Exceptional strength. Harden is so smart at creating opportunities to get to the free throw line. He's as solid as it gets from the line. I mean, give him the opportunity, he's cashing in on those.
And so just over a minute and a half played. Here's George. And that one drops. George has got 5 points so far.
Yeah, excellent determination there from George. This wasn't going to be denied. Fighting off the physical contact and nailing the shot over good defense.
Now here's Harden. Here's Griffin. Cousins pulls it in.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
George finds Beverly. Back to George. And Griffin sends it back. And here's the fast break. Jordan leading the way. If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first.
Very dangerous to leave a guy like that open. Lucky break there for the D. And when he first came into the league, Blake Griffin's dunking made headlines. And while I'm sure he enjoyed that, he was also eager to show that there was more to his game.
Now here's Leonard. Out to Morris. The three ball. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
And this is in Morris's wheelhouse right here. Extremely fluid with the catch and release.
Harden the pass to Jordan. The shake. And the rejection by Cousins. Leonard against Harris. Outside, George. And it's off from three-point range. And you know, Greg, in the past, Griffin felt at times criticized as being a one-dimensional player.
I tell you, Kevin, I think he's answered those critics. You look at his passing and his development as a shooter, one of the more complete offensive players in the league.
Catching up on the changes for the Clippers. Zubac is checked in for Cousins. Batum comes in for Morris. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Patrick Beverly. Here is Rondo following the bucket by the Nets to the inside. On the wing, Batum guarded by Harden. Leonard with no one around. Offline with his three.
And even without that three ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
And here's Harden for three. The Clippers grab the miss. And now the Clippers on the break. Leonard with the ball. And that one drops for him.
And busting it up the floor. Leonard showing a lot of energy on the fast break. If there's one thing he doesn't lack, it's hustle.
Now here's Harden. Dishes it to Griffin. Back to Harden. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Harden's got 6 points.
Really crisp, intelligent passing to make that basket possible.
And there's the foul. It'll go on Bruce Brown. That is his first foul of the game. So for the Clippers, Mann's checked in, and it's Kennard in for George. A big group substitution here for Brooklyn. Durant's checked in for Green. Luwawu Cabarro comes in for Harris. Tyler Johnson, he's checked in for Bruce Brown. And it's Kyrie Irving in for James Harden. Both shots good from the stripe. Nets trail by 4. And here is Irving. Some solid defense there from Jackson.
And you can see the defenders afraid to kind of get in his way a lot of times when he's on his way to the basket. But on that one, they were there.
That is super efficient, getting in deep and then taking advantage.
Now Johnson. Outside Irving. Over Jackson. Irving finds Griffin. With 4 seconds on the clock. No good there off the double clutch. He can't get that one. And so it's Los Angeles with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far from the Clippers, guys. What are your thoughts?
Impressive start. They came in with a well-conceived game plan and have executed.
Yeah, you know what makes it really easy for the coaching staff in that case? No adjustments needed. Just keep on keeping on.
And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Luwawu is out there with Durant. Then there's Irving. Then it's Johnson. And it's Claxton in at the 5, roaming the paint. Kennard, the pass to Mann. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Just 5 to shoot. Back to Jackson. That's tipped. Zubac kicks to Jackson. And they turn over the 24-second buzzer, signaling the shot clock violation. And it's Durant with the ball. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. 6-point game. Irving against Jackson. Out to the right wing. High post, KD. And the rejection by Zubac. And he comes up with the deuce. DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Los Angeles. Marcus Morris comes in for Nicholas Batum. The Nets shooting their 3rd free throw attempt of the game.
And as a group, they shot 75% from the line last season.
Hey, Greg, you played in a different era of NBA defense. When you look at how defense is played now in the league, how do you feel about it?
You know, Kevin, I think the introduction of the zone, by and large, has been great. You get a lot more switching, and I think it brings more skill into the game. Don't get me wrong. I do miss the physicality that we had back in the 90s, but I tell you what, right now, my body wishes I had the opportunity to play in this era.
I bet it does. Here's Irving, following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins, all by himself. Goes up, tips it. It's good on the putback. Morris has got the lead up to 7 outs for Los Angeles.
And you'd like to see more of this from Marcus. Attack that offensive glass and generate some points outside of those set plays.
The pass to Claxton. Johnson outside. Here's Irving. That one falls, coming off the Johnson feed. Irving's got his first bucket of the night.
Really nice job moving the ball around that time, picking apart that defense.
Jackson against Irving. From deep. No good from Cousins. Nets trail by 5. Durant down low. He's guarded by Cousins. KD's shot is off. Back to Morris. Over Johnson. And misses it off the right side of the rim. The Nets have gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Good. KD's got 5.
Durant's a pleasure to watch moving in transition. So fluid and always under control.
Outside Jackson. Pass to Mann. Morris, left side. Over Durant. Morris, no good. Nets trail by 3. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
It's a scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Here's what the Clippers are going with right now. Patrick Beverly, he's checked in for Kennard. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Jackson. The Nets also changing it up. Jordan, he's checked in for Luwawu. And it's Brown in for Tyler Johnson. So for the Nets, Green, he's checked in for Nicholas Claxton. Harris comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's James Harden in for Kyrie Irving.
There's a reason why Jordan's a high percentage shooter. Shooting percentage a function of the kind of shots you get. He opts mainly for dunks.
And here are the Clippers now, following the bucket by the Nets. Rondo dishes to Leonard. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
What strength from Leonard there, not allowing the defense to get the best of him.
It's Harden with the drive, and Harden with the stuff.
Oh, just solid on the one-handed slam.
And guys, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Somebody you can count on. He is an extremely reliable finisher.
And here's the fast break. Jordan leading the way, and there's the whistle, called a clear path foul there. Yep, and he'll shoot 2 at the line. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
You know, guys, when you look at those numbers last year for him, I think it does affect how much you're willing to go after contact, because you're a little fearful of getting to the foul line unless you're in the and one situation. Too many trips to the line when you shoot it as poorly as he does actually can hurt you.
Here's Rondo after the basket by Brooklyn, and he gets the bucket.
You know, he's a bit of a rarity and maybe even a throwback when you look at Rondo and how, being a smaller guard, he still is comfortable operating inside.
Now here's Brown. Inside, Jordan. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Jordan's got 5 now.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
Outside Rondo. George with the ball. Now Green defending. Here's Leonard. Outside for George. To the paint. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
Exactly. The defense determined not to allow the easy layup right there. They'll settle for making him earn the free throws.
Left side, Irving. Here's Griffin.
You know, when Rondo puts this kind of effort.
Thank you, David. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half momentarily.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K. And Kenny, like Kawhi Leonard, Paul George doesn't show a whole lot of emotion. He lets the... And...
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. An exceptional performance so far from James Harden.
In that first half, he was a hot knife, and the defense was butter, sliced right through them.
Well, you know what, guys? My question is this. Who's he going to posterize in this half? You know, we've already gotten a number of filthy dunks out of it.
They've got Paul George, DeMarcus Cousins out there with Marcus Morris. Then there's Kawhi Leonard, and it's Beverly in at the point guard. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. Now, here's George. And he's going to get whistled for that foul, GA. That was intentional, but not exactly logical.
How about pointless to foul there? I mean, I don't know where his head is, but it's not in the game.
Now, here's Brown. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Here's Harden. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Harden's got the lead up to 4 now for Brooklyn.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. You know, Greg, you probably know as well as anyone, what was it like going up against the Bulls in the 90s?
You know, it's weird to say, but in a lot of ways, we were a lot like they were. Hall of Fame talent at the coach, a defensive-minded team, but The one difference was, you know, the Bulls had that guy that wore that number 23. I think I'd say that might have been the one difference.
Now here's Harden. He's got 12. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Stolen by Beverly. And here we go. Fast break. Cousins has got it. And that one's good. George.
Boy, how about the deceptive strength of George fending off the defense exceedingly well there and taking the ball strong to the rack.
Here's Brown. Still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. The shot, no good. Good work defensively by Morris. And now the Clippers on the break. Here's George, and it's George finishing it off.
And it's really obvious that George has put a ton of time into improving his handle. I mean, you never know what he's going to do with the ball in his hands, and most times it's pretty good.
Now, here is Harden. It's hauled in by Beverly. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Love the unselfishness of Beverly. I mean, when he sees his teammate wide open, he quickly gets him the ball.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there. Sure.
I get the feeling, guys, that he may be sensing that this is a critical time in this game.
Now here's Leonard. 6 points for him. A three-pointer is right on target.
How about Kawhi Leonard knocking down the three ball? Didn't have that shot when he got into the league. Love seeing how he's improved as a shooter with the outside jump.
And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Yeah, you got to respect the athletic reach of Jordan now. Throw it up, and he will bash in the alley-oop.
Brown against George. And Griffin sends it back. And he gets it back. George against Harden. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel.
And those are the kinds of mistakes that are magnified when we're talking about a game down the stretch.
Big group substitution here for the Clippers. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Marcus Morris. Luke Kennard comes in for Leonard. Reggie Jackson's checked in for George. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Patrick Beverly. Shot is good, and the Los Angeles leads cut down to just 1 on the basket from Blake Griffin. Rondo passes to Cousins. Down low, Batum. Back to Cousins. Johnson against Jackson. Over Johnson. That shot off. The Nets go the other way with it. And they have certainly been looking locked in offensively.
They sure have. Staying aggressive and playing under control. Yeah, not sure what that was about. I mean, talk about a brain cramp.
Yeah, yeah, completely a brain fade. I don't know where that came from. Just lost sense of time and the situation.
The Nets making a switch here. Claxton's checked in.
Boy, the quick feet and long strides of Batum, especially lethal in the open court.
Back to Irving. Pass to Llewellyn. Here's Durant, and then Durant with the jam.
And some hang time on the rim. Puts a little cherry on the top of that slam.
Well, those kind of displays of strength can get one team rolling.
And can put the other team on its heels. We'll see how it plays out.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
Here's Irving, and the rejection by Cousins. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
That's a smart play Jackson will keep going back to. He knows he'll make it to the rim, get fouled, or maybe both.
And so Jackson nails both of them.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Yeah, they've not missed a single foul shot this half, and that's taking care of business, fellas.
Back to Irving. The shot from 20 feet away. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. The third quarter comes to a close. The Clippers on top. And a worthy candidate tonight as we take a look at our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Boy, that's a nice asset to have. It's a huge boost to any offense, too. It adds a whole nother dimension when you've got a big guy that can pass.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. On the court for the Nets, getting the fourth quarter going. They've got Green. Kyrie Irving is out there with Brown. And it's Durant. And it's Claxton in at the 5 down low. Here's Jackson. Kevin Durant picking up that last basket. And there's the call on Kyrie Irving. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Brooklyn. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Nicholas Claxton. Joe Harris comes in for Green. And it's Harden in for Bruce Brown. Stolen by Harden. And now we've got the intentional foul. It's the Nets now. They trail by 3. Durant, the pass to Jordan. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be. And, yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at. And how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And, guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video reviews showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Here is Harden. Paul George making his last shot. It's good, and the Clipper lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from James Harden. George looking around from the arc. Rebounded by the Nets.
You know, after connecting on 1 3-pointer in the first half, he hasn't netted another one since.
Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Here's Leonard. George. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. And the Clippers lead by 3. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for Los Angeles. Wow, that was a strong dunk.
And Harden, an absolutely vicious dunker. Terrific at bouncing towards the rim, but the epic throwdown.
George against Irving. And George, here we go. George double teamed. Out left to the wing. Shot clock at 6. And Cousins kicks to Leonard. The putback, Cousins on the follow.
Yeah, you know, Cousins, I think, is sometimes underrated as an offensive rebounder. That guy can get some putbacks for you.
Harden draws the double to the middle and stolen by Cousins. And pushing it up, here's the Clippers. George with the ball. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
And, guys, that's the man you want with the ball in his hands on that critical possession. Kawhi being his best in the biggest moments.
Irving finds Jordan. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Hey, that's why you want an experienced veteran like DeAndre Jordan. That's a huge hoop from him.
Beverly the pass to Cousins. And they double up Cousins. Bounce pass from Morris. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. It's going to be on James Harden.
When Cousins plays with that kind of force, it really puts the defense in a pickle and typically leads to him being fouled.
Rajon Rondo is checked in for Patrick Beverly. Then for the Nets, Blake Griffin comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's Bruce Brown in for Kyrie Irving. Rondo against Harden.
phenomenal body control from Harden. Superb at just knifing inside and forcing the defense to whack it.
And the Clippers call time here. They're up by 5. 1:36 left in the fourth quarter. And now a moment to present the New Balance Player of the Game, Paul George.
And he's up over 50% from the field here tonight. And that speaks to how solid his shot selection has been. Nothing forced and really no bad decisions. Just good, smart, offensive basketball.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Kevin, during the last break, I heard Tyronn Lue talking with his team. He said, this is where mistakes can kill us. This is where mistakes can turn this thing completely around. Protect the basketball and make the simple play. In other words, guys, no hero ball right now.
Thank you, David. He drops the first one, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
You know, I still think Rondo is a great role player in the league. He knows he's out there to distribute the ball and provide leadership on the floor, and he does both really well.
Harden against Rondo. And it's going to be a goaltending call here, so they'll count the bucket.
How good is that? Harden commanding the ball in these moments. Loves stepping up at crucial times.
Outside Rondo. He dishes it to Leonard. Back to Rondo. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. Here's Cousins. And Cousins throws it down hard.
Boy, talk about staying poised under pressure. Tom Cousins doing work late.
George against Irving. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. And there's the call on Durant. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. First free throw is good, and that increases their lead to 6.
And a guy who's bounced around the league a little. Surprising, given that Morris is a solid shooter and a pretty good defender and rebounder. And as long as they can keep doing that kind of work at the foul line, this lead will be safe.
Durant kicks to Harden. Jordan trying to free himself up. And there's Jordan putting it right back in.
Jordan coming up big. His name is Cole, and he ups the ante and delivers.
On the wing, George. Morris outside. Leonard on the wing, outside, George from deep three-point range, and the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That will be foul number 5 on him. Brooklyn with the ball. It's a 5-point game. Here's Durant, and that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Boy, that's the kind of pressure Durant puts on the defense. I mean, you just can't sit back and let him do what he wants to. Body up on him, even if you may risk a foul.
And now down to a one-possession game. Those foul shots, huge.
And there's the intentional foul. No choice but to stop the clock here.
You have to foul, but I'm sure they would have liked to foul someone different.
They didn't really have another option. I mean, I thought they did a nice job getting it in his hands and making sure he was the guy who'd go to the line. And that makes it a 2-possession game now. Those could turn out to be vital free throws.
Jordan the pass to Irving. And the Nets miss again. Pass to Morris. George with no one around. Can't get it to fall. So the Clippers with the win. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that about wraps it up. And as they...
Well, guys,
He's certainly come a long way, D.A. Thanks. And the injury report for both teams. Players who will not be available tonight.
And some uncertainty arises when both teams are missing players. Who is better able to weather the storm and take care of business?
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. Pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Nurkic, and it's Powell in at the small forward position. And for the Clippers, we've got Kawhi Leonard. Paul George is out there with Reggie Jackson. Then it's Ivica Zubac, and it's Morris in at the power forward. And so the Los Angeles Clippers get the first points of the ballgame. A three from McCollum. It's hauled in by Zubac, and it's the Clippers' ball from downtown. The shot by George, no good. And so it's Covington who brings up the ball for Portland. And the rejection by Zubac. Here's Leonard. And it's Portland with the rebound.
He usually takes advantage of D like that. Should have been a simple layup.
And the basket by McCollum. Some of the best in the game go at it here tonight, Chris. What an incredible guard matchup we have here in this one.
Oh, Kevin, there are some all-time greats playing at the guard spots these days. It will be a fun matchup to watch.
Here's Leonard. Following the basket by C.J. McCollum.
What strength from Leonard there, not allowing the defense to get the best of him.
Lillard scanning the floor. And it's McCollum at the elbow. 20 feet out. And he gets the jumper to drop. McCollum's got his second bucket tonight.
Boy, he is looking confident. Love how they're using him so far.
Yeah, that's because he's getting his number called early. I mean, he's doing his part to help carry the offensive load.
Jackson. A second chance effort. Out to Morris. Poked away. The Trailblazers have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. McCollum, no good. Los Angeles has gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Leonard finds George. Rebound by Nurkic. It's Powell on the wing. Back to Covington. And there's the pass to Lillard. Inside. Here's Nurkic. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Lillard.
I like to see this Lillard patient reading the D. He finds the open man.
And Yusuf Nurkic, missing a whole calendar year not too long ago, was still involved with the team during that stretch and was a fixture on their bench.
Yeah, shout out to my boy Nurkic, but hey, bro, you had some wild shirts on the sideline. I couldn't even watch the game. You was over there dizzying cats up, but I know you were doing your thing, but he would use clothing to call out other players, teams, and commentators. Nurkic doesn't mince words, and I'm glad he's back and playing.
Here's Lillard. Paul George making his last shot. And no good to start the night, missing his first attempt there. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back for the Clippers. Cousins comes in for Ivica Zubac. And it's Batum in for Morris. And then for the Trailblazers, Rondé Hollis-Jefferson comes in for Norman Powell. And Jones subbed in for C.J. McCollum. And that was another look at the aggressive D that led to the Mobile One block.
And early in the game, these sorts of plays really can set the tone.
Lillard with the bucket.
Superb form. Lillard has the mid-range shot on lockdown.
Left side, Batum. 1:29 left in the first quarter. And George, here we go, banked in off the glass.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you had to bring much faster help than that.
Now here's Lillard. Shot clock at 5. Stolen by George. And here comes Jackson leading the fast break. And there's Cousins. That's good on the assist by Jackson.
Oh, and when there's an open man, Jackson finds him, making it look very easy.
Lillard outside. Passes to Jones. Batum against Covington. Puts up a 3. Goes back up. Here's Nurkic. Jones against George. Pass to Nurkic. Shoots over Cousins. Nurkic can't hit. The Clippers in the lead. Jackson passes to Batum. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
And the amazing pump fake from Batum. The D falls for it every time.
First trip to the line for him here.
Last year, 90%, and he was right there among the best in the league with that percentage.
Oh, you can get spoiled watching him at the line. I mean, you just expect him to make every one every time.
Three-pointer, Lillard. No good, shot missing. And so the first quarter is in the books. Clippers ahead, up by 4. We'll be back shortly live from Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles. And before the game, we talked to Damian Lillard. You know, Greg, he is...
I don't fear nobody. And, you know...
And if Lillard's proved anything to us, Greg, in his career, you know he loves a challenge.
One of the premier big shot makers in this game. I don't know if there's anyone you'd rather give the ball to in crunch time.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers. Guys?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, they really got after it. I mean, they made life extremely difficult for the shooters, which is why they hold this lead.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the floor for Portland, they've got Enes Kanter. Anthony is out there with Norman Powell. Then there's C.J. McCollum. And it's Simons in at the 1. Hits the three-point bomb.
Everybody wants shooters like Kennard these days. Keep hitting threes, Luke. It'll earn you lots of dough.
McCollum up top. He's covered by Rondo. And the basket by McCollum.
There isn't much this fella can't do, and just to prove it, he goes to the finger.
Beverly, the pass to Cousins. And Kennard wide open. He shoots.
They've settled into a nice groove offensively here in the second.
And Simons has got the ball here for the Portland Trail Blazers. 7-point differential. Kicks to Carmelo. Pass to McCollum. Three-pointer. They get it back. The shot's good from Kanter. Kanter's got his first 2 points of the night.
Now, that's the staple of Kanter's game. This guy has a knack for knowing how to come up with offensive boards.
Here's Rondo to the right side, to the paint, and the officials calling for a 3-second violation. And the Clippers making a change here. Trailblazers trail by 5. Simons surveying the D. And McCollum launches it from deep. And a miss there on the triple.
And he didn't punish them for the weak coverage there, but they can't count on him to continue missing.
And McCollum on the floor, all business. Off the court, he's a very outspoken player, very colorful guy. And Greg, you were saying you see a future in media for him when he stops playing.
No doubt about it, Kevin. I mean, McCollum spoke up quickly about the seriousness of the virus when they were playing. He's very knowledgeable and shares what's on his mind. A media position after he's done playing is a very real possibility if he chooses to.
Here's McCollum. Up again, controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
Oh, he's a great presence to have near the bucket. Kanter's going to go after every rebound. And when he gets his hands on that, that's what happens.
And Beverly kicks to Kennard. The pass to Zubats. Back to Kennard. Wide open. Will not go. This is off the front iron. And now Portland on the break. Here's Powell. Good work defensively by Morris. Los Angeles leading by 5. Over in the corner, Beverly. Here in the second quarter, about 3 minutes played. He lobs up the alley-oop pass.
This is why Kennard's teammates appreciate him. He's good at sharing the wealth when they're uncovered.
1:58 left in the first half of basketball. Here's Simons. He's still scoreless so far in this one. And the shot is good. Clippers have gone 3 of their first 5 shots to drop here in the second quarter. Closing in on 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. High post, Zubac. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Zubac has got the lead back up to 7 now for the Clippers. Powell with it. To the inside, Cantor. Back to Powell. Fires the 3. With the putback. It's hauled in by Zubac. Clippers leading by 7. Near the three-point line, it's Morris. Got a piece of it.
We don't talk much about his defense. I mean, Cantor has been much maligned for his work at that end. But he's been making a better effort.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
There's 42 seconds left in the first half. And Beverly kicks to Zubac. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Zubac has got the lead up to 7 now for the Clippers.
I mean, it took him a long time to get into the flow of the game, but the points are starting to come for him now.
Kennard against McCollum. Anthony on the wing. To the wing on the left. Here's Simons. And the rejection by Zubac. And he's able to get it back. Now Kennard. Down low. Here's Morris. And no good on the last second attempt this time.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K Sports. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. They were never able to get the lead above 4. And that
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. We're halfway through the game. You've got to like what Ivica Zubac has done in this game.
He's done a fantastic job of finding open space to operate within the first few quarters.
Yeah, the offense looks crisp, and guys are hitting their shots.
They've got Paul George. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Marcus. Oh, wow!
Nice! It's easy to forget about Lillard's hops. I mean, this guy has some sick dunks up his sleeve.
And last season, Lillard doing more playmaking than prior years, a career high in assists.
Well, we all know that Dame can score whenever he wants to. This team is better when he's setting others up. Lillard knows that. I expect him to continue to spread the ball around.
Lillard against Jackson. And it's Lillard missing. And so it's Leonard with it. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. The deep 3 from George. And again, Los Angeles with the triple.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Nurkic finds Lillard. And if you're just joining us, we played over a minute here in the third. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. Lillard's got 5 points in the quarter.
Lillard's not going to let you get away with that. He wants those 3 points back, and he gets them quick.
Back to George. Here's Zubac. Off the left rim and out.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
And it's Lillard missing.
He's not an easy man to stop when he's attacking the basket. The D doing everything it can.
George with the bucket.
Nice and steady so far in the second half. They're 3 for 4.
Morris against Covington. Passes it to Little. He kicks to Nurkic. 6 on the shot clock. Portland needs to get off a shot. Lillard. They get it again. In the corner, Hollis Jefferson. Nurkic trying to get open. Great positioning on the putback.
Now, when you see the hard-working mentality of Nurkic, I mean, love how assertive he is on the offensive boards.
Outside Jackson. There's the dish to George. Back to Jackson. The shot's good on the assist by George. Jackson's got his first points of the night. Greg, if you're a small market team, how do you convince stars that you've drafted and developed to stay and re-sign?
It's a great question, Kevin. I actually think in a lot of ways it's easier today because you can be box office. You can be a superstar in a small market and have the name recognition because of the era we play in. And so I think the biggest way to keep them there is to build a championship caliber team around them. I think that is your saving grace. If you can prove to them that you can build a championship caliber team, I don't really think that there is a reason to want to lose.
That's a solid blueprint.
And they're passing the ball very crisply here.
Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. In the corner, it's Little. Lillard way outside. An absolute bomb from three-point range. Lillard's got it back down to a single-digit deficit for the Trailblazers. And here's George. 9 points in the game so far. Leonard, the pass to Zubac. Kicks it out to Leonard. No good with the triple. And Zubac picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. For the Clippers, DeMarcus Cousins. He's checked in for Zubac. Batum comes in for Morris. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Reggie Jackson. Good ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Powell for three. Doesn't go that time. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Outside for Batum. All sorts of time. And Cantor pulls it down. Cantor's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Powell. 27 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Anthony. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Leonard's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Here's George. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
As crafty as they come. George has lots of experience when it comes to mixing up defenders.
And so he hits both. We've got 13 seconds left here in the third quarter. It's Powell on the wing. Cantor. And Cantor throws it down.
Yeah, Cantor moves so well with his team. Fluid motion gets him free for the shot.
And here's George for three. No good. And so it's the Los Angeles Clippers ahead by 9 as the quarter comes to. And this is it. Glad to have you along for this 4th and final quarter. Clippers leading by 9. And on the floor for Portland here in the 4th. Enes Kanter is out there with Anthony. Then there's Norman Powell. Then it's Jones. And it's McCollum in at the 1 spot. Rondo dishes to Leonard. Outside for Rondo. Stolen by Kanter. And here we go, Anthony heading to the hoop. Oh, and the jam by Anthony.
I mean, look, he's evolved as a passer over the course of his career. Get to the right spot, McCollum will find you.
Rondo scanning the floor. Kennard finds Rondo. Drops in the layup for 2. Rondo's got his first basket.
Well, a guy that simply brings toughness to the hardwood. Rondo, he isn't bothered by this.
Cullen passes to Powell. 60 seconds off the clock here in the 4th. Back to McCollum. Shoots. And the layup's good off the glass.
And they're forcing the ball inside, and it's working like a charm.
Outside Rondo. Leonard on the wing. And it's Portland with the rebound. And now Portland on the break. Powell, no one around him. Anthony, and staying with the play, Anthony. Anthony's got 4 points in the quarter.
Oh, how about the deft touch right there, guys?
He just guided that ball back up and in. Just a fingertip touch on the ball. The drive by Rondo, and the basket is good. And the Clippers lead by 7.
Well, as a defender, you can never let Rondo get going to the hoop. Make him take the J.
That's a 2 from Powell. It's rebounded by Leonard. Leonard's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And there's the call on Jones. That's his first foul.
Oh, man, it's close, but, didn't get on balance quick enough.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Yusuf Nurkic, he's checked in for Cantor. Robert Covington comes in for Anthony. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Derek Jones. And Lillard subbed in for Powell. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. But they get it back. Nurkic kicks to Lillard. Off target with his 3.
And the great shooters know when they've got enough opening to go for the 3. I didn't think it was a bad choice on that possession.
George against Lillard. Here's Zubac. That falls. Nice speed that time from George. George has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Lillard outside. And then jammed down as he goes right over Ivica Zubac.
And don't sleep on Lillard's vertical. When he's going strong to the bucket, he's capable of throwdowns like these.
Jackson looking it over. On the wing, Morris. Looking for George. He gets it there. Outside for Jackson. 5 to shoot. Here's Leonard. The putback. Hollis Jefferson with the rebound. Trailblazers trail by 9. A 3 from McCollum. Takes it out to Covington. This one for 3. Rebounded by Jackson. The Clippers have gone 4 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the 4th. And here's Leonard from 3. Back to George. It's a nice passing here by Los Angeles. And there's a foul. It's on C.J. McCollum. That's his first foul. Norman Powell's checked in for Portland. And it's the Clippers with the ball. They've given up just 8 points in the 4th quarter. And oh, here we go. McCollum's got it. The fast break chance. Feeds it to Powell. Shoots over Leonard. It's not going to go for him. And the Clippers will come the other way. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. George, with no one around, sinks the 3-pointer. And the Clippers lead by 12.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And you know they are, sure. I mean, come on, the finish line is in sight. All they have to do is play it smart.
Jackson passes to George. To the inside. Shot clock at 6. Nobody near Leonard. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark.
Not enough ticks left on the clock to save them tonight.
Well, it's tough, man. When you get to this point in the game, you fought hard, did your best, but it just wasn't enough.
Gets the first, and that'll push the lead to double digits. He's perfect from the line this time.
You got to just have a sense of calm at the line. He has it here, and he just put the game to bed.
Simons, the 3-pointer, no good. So the Clippers winning this one easily. All right, David, thank you. And that'll wrap it up, folks.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Hello, everyone. Proud to bring you Wednesday night. And they'll have some minutes to make up for with an injury in their roster.
Compensating for the absence of a key player can be difficult, but they've got to hold strong.
Here are the starters for Los Angeles. Paul George is out there with Patrick Beverley. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. And it's Morris in at the four-man position. And for Milwaukee, Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. Dante DiVincenzo, he's out there with Holiday. And it's Lopez in at center. And so the Milwaukee Bucks get the first points of the ballgame. Here's Beverley, and he drops it in from the low post. And Brent, these teams boasting great depth. Many feel that's a hallmark of a great front office.
If you go back and you look, Kevin, at some of the teams that have made deep playoff runs or eventually won the championships, that tinkering about bringing in a veteran or just one piece to make that next step for that one matchup or that one series, finding contributions like that up and down the roster, absolutely, that can make a difference.
The Bucks working the ball around. Stolen by Beverley. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
That's where Patrick Beverley's defensive tenacity helps you out, active hands, and he knocks the ball away.
Holiday against Beverley, and it's slammed in by Holiday.
How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there and just gets to the rack really easy.
Outside, George. The dish to Morris. On the wing, George. And he makes that one.
That's where you get a good indicator of how skilled Paul George is. Gets creative against the defense.
And the versatility of Paul George's game Elite defense and rebounding, steals and deflections.
And you think about Paul George moving to several teams, yet still having the impact on both ends of the floor. I think that is a telltale sign that you have an elite talent in Paul George.
Here's George after Drew Holiday's score. The three from Leonard. Antetokounmpo pulls it in.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Pulls up for three. It's hauled in by Los Angeles. Leonard looking around. Passes it to Morris. Pass to Leonard. Just 5 on the clock. Here's Cousins, and Cousins throws it down.
That's power from DeMarcus Cousins.
And here's Holiday, who will bring it up for the Bucks. Trailing by 2. Dishes to Antetokounmpo. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time.
Uncovered at the rim, finding cracks in the defense here early on.
Just really smart basketball and exploiting whatever holes that he's seeing right now in the defensive squad.
Now here's Beverly. Pass to George. And George with the stuff.
I just feel like Patrick Beverly has incredible awareness for every second that he plays on the floor. Spots the wide open man, gets it to him.
Here's Holiday. He has 6. And the pass to DiVincenzo. He kicks to Middleton. Shoots over Leonard. That one a little long.
Well, that's the only way to take him out of his comfort zone from that range. Get right up in the jersey, force him off the spot.
Count that one.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
Bucks trail by 4. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Count it. Good. Holiday's got 8.
He just exudes a love of the game, guys. You can see it in everything he does. This guy lives and breathes the game.
Now here's Beverly. He dishes it to George. There's 38 seconds left to play in the first quarter.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Outside Holiday. Kicks to Giannis. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Yeah, go ahead and get in front of that if you want to. Man, with a dunk by Giannis.
Beverly deciding where to go with it. Tipped away. And up the court come the Bucks on the break. Outside Holiday. Over Beverly. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen. And we hope you're enjoying the game. Both teams tonight keeping things pretty even so far on the scoreboard. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from the Clippers. Guys?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better one right now. Just a complete rhythm by all the guys who got some minutes. Wonderful start.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. Setting the floor for the Bucks. They've got Portis. Teague out there with P.J. Tucker. And it's Forbes in at the shooting guard position. The Bucks trail. Teague with the ball. Portis, the pass to Forbes. It's good. This game is all even. Forbes has got his first bucket of the night.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
Outside, Batum. Zubac against Portis. Outside for Batum. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. Here's Zubats. And no good. The Bucks go the other way with it. And Zubats picks up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. And the Clippers making a change here. Mann's checked in. Outside Teague. Out to the wing. Here is Forbes. Kennard covering.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation.
And the Clippers have possession following the bucket by the Bucks. Mann gets the bucket.
Orchestrating right now. Rondo should be playing with a baton.
And the Bucks, they're shooting wonderfully up to this point, 67%. Teague, the pass to Portis. Over Batum. And foul on the shot. And folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replay, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
Here's Tucker after the basket by Los Angeles. Passes it to Teague. Back to Tucker. Clock is at 3. Great D that time from Batum. The Clippers have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. To the middle. First shot, first basket. He's out of the blocks fast.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
And so it's Teague with it. He'll bring it up for the Milwaukee Bucks. Trailing by 2. To the paint. Here's Connaughton. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
That's the kind of work you want your point guard to do. Sensational ball movement by Jeff Teague there to set up his man.
Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Lopez, he's checked in for Bobby Portis. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes in for P.J. Tucker. Dante DiVincenzo, he's checked in for Bryn Forbes. And it's Holiday in for Teague. And here they go. DiVincenzo kicks to Giannis. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries.
Well, Giannis scores inside. One of the best in the business at getting his feet wet in the paint. And a strong feel for the attack that time.
Here's George. Oh!
Paul George dunk contest? He's maybe a little older, but I love to see him get up.
Bucks have gone 5 of 6 so far from the field in the second quarter. Pass to Giannis. DiVincenzo with it. Pass to Holiday. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That's on Reggie Jackson.
And as much as Holiday brings to your offense, it's his defense that's repeatedly recognized.
Well, when you make all NBA defensive teams and you're smart and strong and quick like Drew Holiday is, I think not only does the reputation start to build, but your confidence in disrupting somebody else by playing that way is something you rely on.
Now, here's George. 10 points for him.
I mean, with just how dominant he can be scoring inside and outside, to have that kind of vision, wow, what a complete center.
Here's Antetokounmpo. They lead by 1. Lopez outside. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Now we've seen Lopez be more and more assertive in looking for his shot, which in turn draws the defense's attention to him.
And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Yeah, nice job of drawing the contact and creating opportunities at the line.
Jackson against Holiday. George looking around. The rebound by Brook Lopez. And Giannis throws it down.
Well, Middleton right now staying aware of where his teammates are and hitting them when they're open.
And here's George for three. And that would have counted, but his... Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime, so we'll be back in just...
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K. Drew Holiday was red hot to start the first. He had 10 points, 2 assists. That's all for now.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. Paul George really making a difference here.
And guys, we saw just how tough he can be with the step to the rim. Great job of just attacking that first half.
Yeah, nice job of carving his way to the inside with some ease. Not much resistance out there.
Setting the floor for the Clippers. We've got Patrick Beverley. Kawhi Leonard is out there with Morris. Then there's DeMarcus Cousins, and it's George in at the 2.
Boy, does that help. When Drew Holiday's connecting from the three-point line, it opens up so much of the floor.
Morris, left side. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Holiday against Beverley. DiVincenzo passes to Holiday. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Beverley.
A split second late, but almost came up with a steal there.
Real close, and I'm sure next time you might time that a little bit better and get a hand on it.
Middleton. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Middleton's got the lead up to 10 now for Milwaukee. Outside, George. Morris finds George. Over in the corner, Beverley. Stolen by Holiday. Now the Bucks moving it up. And the dunk by Giannis.
You know how you want to tell people don't let Giannis get too close? Well, one step past half court, he's too close.
Middleton against Leonard. Shot to stop the run. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That's on Brook Lopez.
And in a player empowerment era, no greater power move than Kawhi Leonard's last year. Fresh off a finals MVP with the Raptors, he signed with his hometown Clippers and compelled a trade for Paul George.
Think about that 14-month run where Kawhi Leonard made his way to Toronto, a team that was on the cusp for many seasons, goes there, wins the MVP and a championship for the Raptors, and then ends up in his hometown of Los Angeles to try to do the same for the Clippers. Now that's getting it done and writing your own story.
Now here's Leonard. Launches a 3. Rebounded by the Bucks.
And I thought that was going to drop. It looked good from here.
Here's Forbes. Off target from outside.
Yeah, just the first miss of the half there. They have to be happy. 3 of 4 to start it off.
Yep, that one goes in there. Kennard's got it back down to within single digits for Los Angeles.
Changing ends quickly. He's rewarded with a high percentage look.
Yeah, the defense trying to do their best to slow him down, but when he gets room like that, you got to look out.
Now, here's Tucker. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played. Kennard, the pass to Rondo. The Clippers keep it alive. Nobody near Leonard. Good. And it's Rondo who picks up the assist. Rondo's got his 4th assist in this one. Milwaukee leading by 5. Here's Holiday. He's got 13. That one is good again. He's 6 for 8 from the floor with the basket.
Oh, man, this would be a different ball game if they didn't have this type of scoring to rely on.
Rondo scanning the floor. Here's Leonard. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And that's now 7 points for Leonard. Wait, can you really compare players from completely different eras? I mean, people love to talk about the greatest of all time.
You know, Kev, some players do transcend eras. There's no doubt about that. Wilt's a great example, and there are many others. But in reality, to your point, the style and the way in which the game was played was so different that it isn't fair. I mean, all you can be is the best of your generation or one of the best, and I think that should stand no matter what the conversation is.
Like, there's no doubt in your mind Oscar Robertson could play in this era as well as he played when he played.
No doubt. Bill Russell, all those guys.
Yes,
They're truly
yes.
great ones. So much of your ability to perform at a high level is built around your confidence and your belief in your abilities. And those guys had it as much as anybody who's ever played the game.
Catching up on the changes for Los Angeles. Mann's checked in, and Reggie Jackson subbed in for Rajon Rondo. Clippers trail by 7. Boom, he jams it straight down.
A power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. Back to Portis. Leonard with the steal. Jackson finds Kennard. And stolen by Jeff Teague. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Here's Connaughton. Kennard with the rebound. And so it's Jackson who brings it up for the Clippers. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
The adjustments they've made offensively, they're putting guys in a position now to succeed.
Yeah, possession is just way more efficient, I think, here tonight. Taking smarter, better shots, moving the ball around. That's helped them to get back in the ballgame.
Here's Teague. 2 points. That one goes. Teague's got his first points of the game.
Just a stellar job from Jeff Teague to get hit and still possess the wherewithal to finish off the play.
And we've reached the end of the third. Bucks lead by 5. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, a great job with the eyes. And what separates great playmakers, as we know, is peripheral vision.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. Holiday out there with Dante DiVincenzo. And it's Connaughton in at the 3 spot. That's the group for Milwaukee right now.
Antetokounmpo, those long strides and then fearless in his attack.
Jackson against Holiday. Morris passes to Cousins. Outside Jackson. Jacks up a 3. Los Angeles with a fresh shot clock. Cousins dishes to Jackson. Goes up again. Cousins, the pass to Jackson. Back to Beverly. Trying to find Jackson. He's got it now. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call. Milwaukee making a switch here. Teague's checked in. Leonard, he's checked in for the Clippers. Paul George comes in for Jackson. And here is Teague. A few possessions into the fourth quarter, just over a minute played. Antetokounmpo lays it up and banks it in. Giannis has got 4 points in the quarter.
You can tell right now the teammates are scanning the floor to find him and feed him. Why not? He's on it right now.
Now here's Beverly. And there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
He's attacking right now. Patrick Beverly just getting fired up, and his team is doing the same.
Here's Giannis. It's good for his 8th consecutive basket in only 8 tries. Wow.
Well, he's been doing it all night. Why not go back to it?
Yeah, he's feeling it. Keep feeding him until he misses.
Now here's Beverly. Here's Leonard. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
Well, mid-range is where he makes the money. So when the D's slow to get out on him, always surprising to see him miss from there.
Antetokounmpo inside. He's guarded by Cousins. Count that one.
Man, have they been effective at getting the ball inside.
George passes to Leonard. it's Leonard with the jam.
And so little can be done to stop that. Leonard with the jets to screen down the lane, then tops it off with the thunder finish.
Now here's Giannis. Now the pass to Lopez. Here's Connaughton. Passes to Giannis. 5 on the clock. Lopez, no luck.
I don't think the defense does enough out there to bother him. I think that one's all on him. Just a flat-out miss.
I tell you, he's playing the game with pure excitement right now.
He capped off that dunk with some serious hang time on the rim. So it's the Bucks now after the basket by Los Angeles. Into the Kumbo inside. Morris is there. Clippers trail by 7. Leonard kicks to Morris. Right side, Leonard. On the wing, George. Stripped away. On the wing, DiVincenzo. He's covered by Leonard. The kick out to Antetokounmpo. Back to Lopez. The shot, no good. Nice D from Cousins.
This is a do-or-die possession. They have got to get points.
Now, you can't make any mistakes right here if you want to keep hope alive. Their execution has to be precise.
Now DiVincenzo. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. Connaughton passes to DiVincenzo. The 3 trying to get open is Lopez. DiVincenzo hits the bucket.
And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for Milwaukee.
This is a game where the defense, steals specifically, generating a lot of opportunities.
And it created possessions for them, scoring opportunities, and that effort a big part of what will be a nice victory here tonight.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
7-second difference, shot and game clock. George, no good. DiVincenzo passes to Antetokounmpo. Rebound, Kawhi Leonard.
He missed that one, but I've seen him drill shots from that distance in warm-ups.
Oh, no, I know he can make it, but that's warm-ups, so maybe just a step too far.
Cousins, no good. And so it's the Bucks taking care of business in this one. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that's going to do it tonight. Joe Harris. Then there's Griffin, and it's Jordan in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And so off the tip, it's Brooklyn. Harden with it. Count that bucket. Deep benches tonight, Greg, on both sides. This seems to be a growing trend.
You know, teams are digging deeper than ever before, even getting into the two-way contracts that give you depth past your top 15 guys. One, you're trying to protect the investment in your big-ticket items, your franchise-caliber players, but you got to keep an eye on the future in terms of player development. That's another area where the league has really changed when you look at the makeup of these rosters.
Well said. Now here's Jordan. Following the miss by Marcus Morris, buries the long-range jumper.
You know, like a lot of shooters, Harris prefers to release off a pass, catch and shoot, not the dribble.
And Beverly kicks to Leonard. And finished off by Leonard.
The finish was nice, but the setup was better.
Yeah, GA, the pick working to full effect before the stuff.
And, you know, not enough help from the defense there to compensate. He gets a clean look, and that's exactly how you draw it up.
Now here's Jordan. Griffin trying to get open. Jordan's shot is off. And so Cousins will bring it up for the Clippers. It's a three-point game. Griffin with the steal. And here's the fast break. Jordan leading the way. Harris outside. The Nets working the ball around now. Harden, no good.
Usually, guys, he's going to knock that one down from there. Proficient at operating in that medium range area.
The three from George. Oh, drew the foul and almost hit the three-point bucket. But he'll go to the line to shoot three.
I like how...
And here we go with the coach's challenge. Not surprised in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And so the word is in. They've decided that the call stands as it was made on the floor.
And, you know, even if a coach still feels this wasn't the right call, you got to acknowledge the effort being put in to reviewing it. The double checking and the game continues on.
Tremendous speed on the drive. Harden is consistent in attacking the basket.
And George, here we go. The rebound by the Nets.
And once he had to change his shot in the face of the D, you just had a feeling that one wasn't going to fall. Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Shot clock reset for the Nets. Jordan kicks to Harden. 6 to shoot. And the wide open shot from Griffin. His three-pointers off the mark. Clippers trail by 4. Leonard looking around. Great D that time from Jordan. And it's Harden with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. For 3, Harris. They get it back. Brown. Here's Jordan. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. That one on George.
You know, overall now, in terms of defensive strategy, sending Jordan to the line is not as effective as it used to be. He's improved as a free throw shooter.
Brooklyn making some changes. Jeff Green is checked in for Griffin. Kevin Durant comes in for Harris. And Kyrie Irving subbed in for James Harden. Now, here's Kennard. The pass to Zubats. Over Jordan. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a three-point play chance for him.
How about that one? Able to maintain control and finish the play.
Yeah, we call that playing through the whistle. You know, he didn't give up on it when he heard the whistle. He kept his focus, his concentration, and he found a way to get the shot up and down.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Griffin's checked in for Jordan. Luwawu Cabarro comes in for Green, and it's Johnson in for Bruce Brown.
Well, you can be the judge of if it's fair or not, but Kyrie Irving has earned himself the reputation of being moody, to say the least.
Yeah, you know, sometimes that sword cuts both ways. Sometimes it's the player, sometimes it's the media, and the media's perception. It's a combination of the two. Clearly, Kyrie can sometimes go off on tangents and come from left field in interviews. I mean, he's not the only player, present or past, that's been guilty of that. One thing you can't deny, though, is this guy loves the game. And it's a matter of continuing to mature and grow as a leader. So I say give him more time, and he'll refine himself in that area.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Nets leading by 5. Inside, outside for KD. Irving with a clean look. The basket good off the assist from Durant. Irving's got 5.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Rondo passes to Jackson. The shot will not fall. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. And Zubac picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And the Clippers making a switch here. Man's checked in. Outside Irving. Lets it go from deep. It's hauled in by Zubac. Clippers trail by 8. Now here's Kennard. Outside for Batum. Tries again and blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
That extraordinary reach combined with good timing makes Durant a real threat as a shot blocker.
And so it's Brooklyn in the driver's seat, up 8 points at the end of the quarter. And earlier we spoke with Kevin Durant about surviving the grind.
How can we be the best version of ourselves individually?
Well, Durant may not be the in-your-face type of player, Greg, but he gets the message across for sure.
He's not going to yell at you. He's going to show you how it's done and expect that you're as committed to winning as he is.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And from Brooklyn guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you look at the energy, the effort defensively, they put it all out there in that opening quarter.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Taking a look at Los Angeles. They've got Ivica Zubac. Kennard is out there with Reggie Jackson. Then there's Batum, and it's Man in at the small forward. The Clippers have looked good at the line tonight. They're perfect in 4 attempts. And the technical free throw is good. And looking back at what was a stellar career, Greg, if there was one thing you could have done differently, do you have anything on your mind?
You know, I would have loved to have had the opportunity to finish my career in New York. That was a special place, a special time. Unfortunately, that didn't transpire, but that's the one thing that stands out. That and obviously not winning a championship.
I can understand both of those.
Yes.
Clippers trail by 5 and taken away by Brown. Harden against Beverly. Shoots from the right block. And he can't bank that one in. Now the Clippers with it. And George, here we go. Passes it to Man. Lets it go with a 3. But they'll get another chance. Another shot. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Well, when you shoot it as good as Paul George shoots it, it's hard to stay down on his shot fake. It's really remarkable how he gets defenders to bite on it more times than not.
Jordan, he's checked in for the Nets.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Harden scanning the floor. Morris with the block.
And this is what staying active can give you. Morris sending that one back with authority.
Just 5 to shoot. It's Harden with the drive over Beverly.
Boy, just cannot buy a bucket, guys. I'll tell you what, that's a painful quarter for him, and it's painful for me to watch, too.
George passes to Cousins. The shot's good on the assist by George. Cousins has got his second basket.
And it's good to see George concentrate on getting the ball to the open man. Excellent floor awareness.
Harden dishes to Jordan. And yes, it's good. And the Nets lead by 3.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Beverly the pass to Cousins. And then Cousins with the dunk.
Love the unselfishness of Beverly. I mean, when he sees his teammate wide open, he quickly gets him the ball.
Beverly against Harden. Makes the shot. Basket number 4 this game. Brings him up to 4 for 9.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And Beverly kicks to George. Kicks it out to Leonard. Puts it up from 12. The rebound by the Nets.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
Yeah, tit for tat on the glass. Just one more aspect of what's been a very closely contested ball game here.
And Green is a critical role player for this team. His passing is really phenomenal.
George against Harris. And here's George. Cousins, no one around him. No good on the 3.
We know how good a shooter he is. It's frustrating for him when he's not able to knock down that kind of wide open look.
And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Harden. And a new group out there on the floor for the Nets. And then for Los Angeles, Zubac is checked in for Cousins. Luke Kennard comes in for George. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Patrick Beverly. Rondo. And Kennard wide open. He shoots. And the Clippers miss again. And so it's Johnson who brings the ball up for the Brooklyn Nets, leading by 5.
Boy, with that long reach of his, so easy for KD to throw it down.
Rondo against Irving. Rondo passes to Kennard. Outside Leonard. And then Leonard with the dunk.
And Leonard enjoys jamming it home. Got to keep him as far away from the hoop as possible.
Now Irving, 5 points in the game. Pass to Griffin. Back to Irving. Nets passing it around. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials, and yep, we thought we might see it. And the coach's challenge has been triggered on the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at, and how fast the action really is, and how hard it can be sometimes, you know, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Nets lead.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to 2K. It was a fast pace for Brooklyn at the outset. They were able to stretch out their lead to 8 points on the heels of... And that's a wrap with the...
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. You gotta like what Harden has done in this game so far.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
They've got Griffin. Harden out there with Brown. Then it's Jordan. And it's Harris. And at the 3, the small forward. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn.
Hey, you know he's around, and that's what he does. DeAndre Jordan throwing that shot out of there.
Here's George. Cousins trying to free himself up. That one's good, and the Brooklyn lead is cut down to 3 on the bucket from George.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
And that's 10 straight points in the paint. The defense, nowhere to be found.
I think they've really got to start committing more bodies down low and really kind of close that area off defensively.
And the wide open shot from Morris. Misses the 3, and he used the pump fake well there, but he couldn't capitalize. And the foul called on DeMarcus Cousins. That is his first foul of the game. A different look for the Clippers. Nicholas Batum. He's checked in for Morris. And it's Jackson in for Patrick Beverly. And DeAndre Jordan throws it down.
Well, I don't know how many of these he's run, DeAndre Jordan, in the pick and rolls, but boy, is he good at it.
Clippers trail by 7. Over in the corner, Cousins. And there's the call on Durant. That is his first foul of the game. Los Angeles making a switch here. Mann's checked in. George against Johnson. A nice shot by George. George has got 4 points this quarter. Greg, you showed toughness and grit when you played. You've got to succeed in this league with those things at the forefront, right? Being tough, being gritty. And there are several players whose style you admire that play like it.
I mean, no doubt about it. You have the superstars, the Kawhis, the LeBrons, who continue to do it. They can intimidate you physically, but they also provide tremendous skill set. But 2 other guys, Russell Westbrook, Jimmy Butler, they're also guys that exemplify that toughness. You know, 2 guys, when you look at those 2, a lot of people didn't project them to be what they've become, and it's impressive to watch them take the floor night in and night out.
That one good for 2.
And you really can't forget about Green's speed. So effective on the drive.
Outside Jackson to the middle. Got that one, and the Nets lead has been cut down to 2 as they get the bucket from DeMarcus Cousins.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Here's Irving. Good, and it's Green picking up the assist. Irving's got 9 points.
Well, he's cooking with grease. He's got things flaming up, looking for an opportunity every time down the floor when he's that hot.
Right around 3 minutes into the second half. George dishes to Jackson. Clock at 6. George, no good. Nets leading by 4.
And as expected, Kevin Durant sitting out all of last season, recovering from the Achilles injury. Glad to see him back on the floor.
I agree with you, and it was absolutely a no-brainer for Kevin to sit out the season. That type of injury, you give it all the time you need, and the Nets knew that. They knew when the deal was done that he was going to most likely miss the season. And yet, they did the right thing. And when you have a guy like KD, you want to make sure you're not rushing him back. You want him fully ready when it's time for him to go.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Griffin's checked in for Nicholas Claxton. Bruce Brown comes in for Kevin Durant. And it's James Harden in for Irving. Back to Harden. And Harden with the stuff.
Ferociousness from Harden, looking like he wants to tear the rim off.
Outside Batum. Zubac kicks to Kennard. And again, no good by the Clippers.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Harris misses.
Not quite enough defense that time around. Just lucky he was off.
And the rejection by Harden. Out of bounds, Clippers ball as the Clippers keep possession. Los Angeles making a switch here. There's 45 seconds left to play here in the third. Here's Zubac. That shot misses. Griffin with some nice D. And so Griffin will bring it up for the Brooklyn Nets. And here's Harris from the arc. Green. It's good on the putback. And it's a 10-point Nets lead.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches who used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
And the foul called on Marcus Morris. That's his first foul. From deep, Harden. The offensive rebound.
Well, you know, a big part of offensive rebounding is really relentless effort and high energy, and Jordan knows all about that.
Here's Beverly. Misses, and the dry spell continues.
Boy, you can just see the frustration growing on their faces. Nothing going their way.
You know, guys, no denying.
And so it's the Brooklyn Nets up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. Back to the action after this word. And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. So for the Clippers right now, Patrick Beverly out there with Rajon Rondo. Then it's Marcus Morris. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's Leonard in at the power forward. And there's a whistle that's going to go on James Harden. That's his first foul. And a new group in for the Nets. Durant's checked in for Jordan. Luwawu-Cabarrot comes in for Harris. Tyler Johnson, he's checked in for Brown. And Irving subbed in for James Harden. And the Clippers with a change here too. Cousins is checked in. KD can't get it to go. Clippers trail by 12. Leonard with no one around. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. And the foul called on Kawhi Leonard. That is his first foul of the game. Nicholas Claxton's checked in for Blake Griffin. And Durant puts up a deep three. Kawhi Leonard comes up with the rebound. It's deflected. And is out of bounds to the Clippers as the Clippers retain possession.
Yeah, gets a finger on it, but just can't quite come up with the steal.
Clearly a careless pass. He got away with one there.
Cousins inside. That one is good. He's only missed one shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
You know, I really enjoy watching Cousins go to work deep inside. I mean, it feels like, to me, nobody can guard him down there.
Irving for 3. And the Nets miss again. Clippers trail by 10. And pushing it up. Here's Los Angeles. Here's Cousins. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
Well, that's just good work by DeMarcus Cousins. Good, solid, fundamental work using the fake to draw the foul.
Paul George, he's checked in for the Clippers. Reggie Jackson comes in for Patrick Beverly. Nets leading by 8. Irving looking for an opening. Johnson right side. Irving finds Johnson. Back to KD. And it's Cousins with the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game. So for the Nets, DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Nicholas Claxton. And it's James Harden in for Johnson. And the Clippers with a change here too. Zubac is checked in for DeMarcus Cousins.
Irving doing a nice job there being creative and efficient with that beautiful assist.
Jackson has the open look. And again, no good by the Clippers. For Brooklyn, they've gone 1 of 4 since the end of the third quarter. Irving for 3. Second shot opportunity. There's the triple. The putback. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points. KD's got the lead up to 12 now for the Nets.
Never say never with KD. He's fighting hard to protect their possession with a little help from that wink.
Oh, that was worth the price of admission. And throw it down, Kawhi. That was nasty. Love watching him go hard and attacking with power.
Irving double team. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And here is Los Angeles now. Clippers trail by 10. George passes to Leonard. From deep. The Clippers keep it alive. The Nets have gone 2 of 7 from the field in what's been a cold start to the fourth quarter for them. The three from Harden. The Clippers grab the miss. George has got 4 rebounds now tonight. Leonard. And it's Leonard again missing. Nets leading by 10. It's stolen by Morris. George way outside. The rebound by Harden. And it's Harden with the ball for the Brooklyn Nets. So far in the fourth quarter, they've allowed just 6 points. Outside Leonard. Off target from three-point range.
Nothing's going his way since the horn. I mean, looks like he used up all his makes in the last quarter.
Clippers trail by 10. Here's the three. Nice passing here by Los Angeles. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
That's the efficiency you want to see from Jackson. Using his poise and vision to make a play.
And now they decide to foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Jeff Green, he's checked in for Durant. Joe Harris comes in for Luwawu Cabarro. And it's Bruce Brown in for Irving. Harden against Rondo. Oh, and James Harden throws it down hard.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
Hard work and soft hands, guys. That's what made that play possible.
No simple offensive rebound there. Going for the tip in.
But that's the way to go if you've got good position.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback? Diminished.
Rondo's shot is good.
You know, he's a bit of a rarity and maybe even a throwback when you look at Rondo and how being a smaller guard, he still is comfortable operating inside.
Brown against George. And he banks in the layup.
Guys, that's just really unstoppable. He poses a ton of matchup problems for whomever he's facing.
And here's Harden for three. No good. And so it's Brooklyn with the win. David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. Portland is indeed one of the great cities in the NBA. David, thank you. Here are the five for the Clippers. Morris is out there with Ivica Zubac. Then it's Paul George. Then there's Reggie Jackson. And it's Leonard in at the small forward position. And for the Trailblazers, pairing up in the backcourt, Lillard and McCollum. Robert Covington out there with Norman Powell. And it's Nurkic in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Morris. That shot is off. Good D by Covington. Plenty of experience, Greg, on the floor tonight. How does that shape what we're about to see, do you think?
You know, Kevin, this is one of those games where guys are going to be smart out on the floor. They're going to be in the right positions to make plays. And honestly, this could come down to who makes the bigger, tougher shots.
So the Portland Trailblazers. Oh, that was a strong dunk.
That's how you go hard.
And throw it down, Kawhi. That was nasty. Love watching him go hard and attacking with power.
High post, Nurkic. Six on the shot clock. And here's McCollum for three. It's hauled in by Zubac. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. George finds Morris. That falls. Nice feed that time from George.
Well, yeah, Morris is just a tremendous shooter. He has great touch from beyond the arc.
Back to Covington. It's McCollum on the wing. Over George. And the basket by McCollum.
He doesn't play around. If the buck is there for him, he's going to get it.
Now Jackson. The shot misses off the left iron.
With the D playing soft off him, he might have been better off taking it to the hoop instead of settling for the jumper.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
Now here's Jackson. Here's Leonard. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Leonard's got his second bucket of the game to go.
And he moves so well. When Leonard drives the lane, it's pretty much a guaranteed bucket. Terrific body control, and he plays with the ultimate force.
Nurkic in the post. Zubac defending. Lillard with no one around. And the three off target. Leonard looking around. And a deep three from George. From outside off the mark. And so it's Covington who brings up the ball for the Trailblazers. Cullen passes to Powell. He's off on that one. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. And George, here we go. No stopping him there. Jams it in as he's fouled. Chance now for a three-point play. Robert Covington picks one up. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Enes Kanter's checked in for Yusuf Nurkic. Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. Derek Jones, he's checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Simons in for C.J. McCollum. Big group substitution here for the Clippers. DeMarcus Cousins is checked in for Zubac. Batum comes in for Morris. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Rajon Rondo subbed in for Reggie Jackson. And here's Rondo after Damian Lillard was able to get the three to go. Traps in the tray.
Frenchman Batum has hit so many threes in his long career, so if you hit a tray, you know he's going to come back at you.
Here's Simons. Lillard outside. Tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good.
Well, you look at the career that Dame Lillard has had so far. Taken 6th in the 2012 draft out of Weber State, a small school, but this guy became a franchise player immediately for the Blazers.
Outside for Rondo. For three. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers.
Defensive breakdown, and they can't capitalize. He'll hit that shot almost every time.
Batum against Kanter. Outside, George. Finds the hole for the second time from the floor. Now 2 for 5.
Well, when Batum spots a wide open teammate, he zips the rock to him quickly. Just exceptional vision.
Trailblazers trail by 5. Here is Lillard. 26 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Back to Anthony. Fires for 3. Here's Kanter. And he converts the layup.
Now, that's a staple of Cantor's game. This guy has a knack for knowing how to come up with offensive boards.
Now here's Rondo, and it's sent back by Lillard. George, that's a two-pointer, cans the shot from the wing. George has got 7 points. It'll count. And he got that one up in time, but doesn't go in.
Well, Kennard lacks in physicality. He makes up for it with effort.
And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Clippers lead by 5. From Portland, we're back.
When I'm training in the summer.
The team seems to support, Greg, that philosophy 100%.
The game has changed. Some guys would rather take a few steps back to get a cleaner look. Lillard being one of them.
That's great. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Clippers?
Just a terrific first quarter, sparked really by their unselfishness.
Oh, yeah. Love the ball movement so far. Everything clicking at the offensive end.
Here are the 5 the Clippers have to start the second. We've got Patrick Beverley. Batuma's out there with DeMarcus Cousins. Then it's Luke Kennard. And it's man in at the 3 spot.
The assist totals, Kevin, just continue to grow. They're way ahead in that category. Ball movement has been flawless.
Here's Simons. Kennard covering. Launches it. And it's Simons missing. Los Angeles leading by 7. Here's Mann. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
Just phenomenal awareness by Beverley, just dishing the ball to the wide open man easily.
Quarter number 2 with just over a minute gone. Here's Simons, and it's Anthony at the elbow. 5 to shoot. He can't get it to go. So the Clippers will take it the other way. Here's Mann. Off target there. That would have pushed the lead to double digits. They're running ahead for the finish. And Jones slams it in.
Oh, power flush with a long hang on the rim at the end of that.
That could be a catalyst for him. It really could. An almost entirely new group here for Portland. Nurkic checked in for Cantor. Robert Covington comes in for Carmelo Anthony. Norman Powell's checked in for Little. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Anthony Simons. The pass to Morris. From deep three-point range. And it's rebounded by Covington.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
Oh, trying to take advantage of that extra space on the perimeter. Oh, you see a lot of this now. Oh, it doesn't have to break stride at all thanks to the money lead pass.
Here's Beverley. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Leonard from deep three-point land. But they recover it. Morris with the ball. Jones covering. And now here comes Jones leading the break. He gets that one. And now just a 2-point Clipper lead.
Just great anticipation and awareness to come up with the steal and then trigger the fast break.
To the paint, here's Leonard. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. And it's 6 points for Leonard. Greg, 11 years for you in the NBA. You had to have some favorite players that you played besides and with.
You know, it's a great call, and there were a ton of them. A few guys, though, Wilson. Gary Payton, I got a chance to play with Gary for a year and have known him. We used to go at it in high school. And it's really about his personality. This is a guy that constant chatter, practice on the court. That's what fed his confidence. Charles Oakley, another guy, he would run through a wall or through you to win a game. And then Scottie Pippen later in my career, just a winner and somebody who I competed against for many years, but then having the opportunity to play with up close, I got a greater appreciation for his skill set.
McCollum dishes to Powell. Back to McCollum. Over Beverley. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
That one goes in.
You can't be nervous with the ball around Nurkic. When you are, he'll swipe it from you.
And so Beverly will bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Outside Leonard. And there's a foul. It's on C.J. McCollum. That's his first foul for the Trailblazers. Enes Kanter's checked in for Nurkic. Anthony comes in for Robert Covington. And Damian Lillard subbed in for Derek Jones. Paul George is checked in for the Clippers. Rondo comes in for Patrick Beverly. Lillard with it. Pass to Kanter. Kicks it to Powell. Lots of room. No good there. So the Clippers will take it the other way. And he commits the intentional foul.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Jones checked in for McCollum. Both free throws good from Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, he's never rattled at the strike. Always has that nice soft touch on his free throws.
Rondo passes to Leonard. He's looking for Cousins and finds him. Leonard attacking. Good. And it's Cousins picking up the assist. Leonard's got 6 here in this quarter.
Such a consistent night for him from the field. Whenever they've needed it, he's been their safety valve.
Jones looking for an opening. And he uses the glass on the layup. Jones has got 7.
He'll take advantage of that kind of soft defense every time. Just give him a chance to attack the basket, and he will.
Right side, Rondo. And a close game so far through the... All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greeting. A pretty close game for the Clippers throughout the first quarter. At its highest, their lead top. And that.
We've got second half action for you, and if the next couple quarters are similar to the first, this one could go down to the last possession. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, slicing through the gaps in the defense. I mean, getting many of his buckets in the paint.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups courtesy of Gatorade for the second half of basketball. On the floor for Portland, the high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Nurkic is out there with Robert Covington, and it's Powell in at small forward. Here's George. Zubac trying to break loose. George with the bucket. He's got 11.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Now Lillard. McCollum outside. Over George. McCollum no good.
Yeah, but the hand in the face, it's critical that you contest his shots every time down the floor.
George no good. Trailblazers trail by 4. Rebound by the Clippers. Zubac has got 4 rebounds in this game. A stupendous finish in traffic.
A guy with George's focus can shrug off the contact. He won't let the defender disrupt his rhythm.
George against McCollum. Here's Lillard. And there it is for him. Lillard's got 5.
It's a great move, and he catches the defense completely off guard.
You'd like to see a little more energy coming out of halftime on the defensive end.
Jackson has the open look. Misses the 3.
If he forgets about him on the perimeter, they're playing with fire. Lucky they don't get burned here. Oh, great flow to that possession. 2 players totally in sync with each other.
Outside, George takes the 3. Offensive rebound. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in. And the Clippers lead by 4.
And, folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Here's Lillard. He goes right over Marcus Morris and slams it down.
Oh, it's easy to forget about Lillard's hops. I mean, this guy has some sick dunks up his sleeve.
George with the ball. Lillard picks him up, and the whistle blows. It's going to be on Damian Lillard. That's his first foul. Simons, he's checked in for Portland. The Clippers also making some changes. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Luke Kennard comes in for George. And it's Patrick Beverley in for Jackson.
Oh, watch out. Luke Kennard cleared for takeoff.
And Simons has got the ball here for Portland. Trailing by 4. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Stolen by Zubac. And here's the fast break. Here's Kennard. Makes it off the glass. Kennard's got 4 points this quarter.
Gets behind the D on the break of the passes. I mean, it's there waiting for him.
Pass to Nurkic. Back to McCollum. Scores the bucket. He's 7 for 11 and continues to look good.
Oh, he's got it rolling this quarter, taking it on himself to guide their offense.
Beverley looking around. High post, Zubac. We've got 1:23 left in the third. Covington with the steal. McCollum kicks to Powell. Over to the wing. Here's Simon. And Portland again with the bucket.
This team really feeds off of one another in terms of their energy.
Yeah, it's taken on a different feel since the break. You can see how many more hustle plays are being made.
And Kennard wide open. He shoots. No good with the triple.
And even without that 3-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
With a tie. And that one goes long. Nurkic with the steal. Down low. 29 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
And it's a challenge trying to contain Nurkic on the drive. I mean, you can't fault the defense for whacking him.
A different look now for Portland. Anthony's checked in for Robert Covington. Jones comes in for Norman Powell. And it's Little in for C.J. McCollum. 23 seconds left in the third. Rondo drives in. Pass to Kennard. Over Little. And the Clippers miss again. It's his first trip to the line.
Solid work at the line a season ago. 83% on his opportunities.
And the Clippers call time here. And as the coaches go to the clipboard to outline their strategy during the timeout, the players getting a chance to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's key to staying fresh all the way to the final whistle.
And Kevin, it really is. And every one of these players knows it. They're all making sure to stay hydrated. It's impossible to play your A game if you're not getting enough to drink, especially towards the end of games when the physical toll of a long contest really starts to add up.
To the inside. It's stolen by Anthony. 1 second left. That shot off. Third quarter comes to a close, and a battle brings it to a tie. From Portland. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Makes it a tough play to defend because you also have to guard against him taking it himself.
And it's been a very competitive game so far as we get rolling here in quarter number 4. And on the floor for the Clippers here in the fourth, Rajon Rondo is out there with Kennard. Then there's Kawhi Leonard. Then there's Batum. And it's Mann. And at the 3, the small forward. Here's Jones. Cantor trying to free himself up. And folks, the coach's challenge has been initiated for a personal foul. Close game like this, and he thought it wasn't a good call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
And the Trailblazers making a change here. Little's checked in, and let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, over the break, I was able to listen to Tyronn Lue's huddle. He got on his guys about allowing too many paint points. He said, hey, we've got to be scrappier. We've got to be quicker to help, quicker to collapse the lane. You guys know what to do. Now you got to give me the effort. I want to see some nasty. Kevin?
Simons, the pass to Cantor. Shoots over Zubats. Cantor kicks to Little. And the pass to Simons. Shot clock at 6. Banked in off the glass.
And you want him taking big shots for you in big moments. That one was as easy as it gets.
Coach trusts him to make winning plays down the stretch. I mean, because he's shown that ability time and time and time again.
Here's Zubats. And here we go with the coach's challenge. Not surprised in a competitive game like this. And he's disputing the personal foul call.
And this is the time now where the officials can review in closer detail what constituted the original personal foul. Getting a different angle can sometimes make it a lot easier to determine.
Greg, indeed, and the one thing with replay review is that when you see the slow motion replays, you really get a new appreciation for just the immense speed at which these players are moving at and how fast the action really is and how hard it can be sometimes, Greg, to make the right call. And the announcement on the review is that the foul was called in error. So they have determined, Greg, to overrule the original call.
And guys, this is what it's all about, getting the call right. And I think in this case, the video review showed that while it was a tough call to make on the floor, they got it right with the review.
So Portland ends up going with the new group. Lillard way outside. Drains the three-pointer. Lillard's got the lead up to 3 now for Portland.
He wants the ball. They want him to have the ball. And as usual, he comes through in the clutch.
George passes to Zubats. The shot's good on the assist by George.
Really good work on the interior. That is a critical 2 points there. That was an ideal scenario really for him. Point-blank range and also a size advantage.
It's McCollum on the wing. Here's Nurkic. And he takes it in for the layup off a very nice feed.
Well, this is what you want from Nurkic, a fearless player who welcomes the chance to take important shots.
Outside Leonard. It's over Powell. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
So the first one drops, and that brings them within 2 here.
There are differing opinions as to who the best defensive player in the league is, but no matter what, Kawhi is always in the discussion.
The Trailblazers making a switch here. Anthony's checked in, and then for Los Angeles, DeMarcus Cousins comes in for Ivica Zubats, and it's Patrick Beverley in for Jackson.
Well, a big reason Nurkic impacts games is for that ability right there, staying active on the glass at both ends, converting the second chances.
Outside Leonard. And then Leonard with the dunk.
And guys, that's the man you want with the ball in his hands on that critical possession. Kawhi being his best in the biggest moments.
Lillard outside from past the arc. Nurkic kicks to Lillard. Nurkic dishes to Lillard. Over Beverley. Lillard misses.
Nice interior defense. Can't give him any space inside or he'll burn it.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
And the defense knows George can score from there, which is what forces them to kind of compromise at times defensively.
So for the Trailblazers, Enes Kanter comes in for Yusuf Nurkic, and McCollum subbed in for Powell.
Tremendous job at the line as usual. You can always bank on him in those situations.
Three-pointer, Lillard. Lillard again missing. And so George will bring it up for Los Angeles. And it's Beverly missing.
That works just like they drew it up until the part where he short arms the ball.
Anthony in the corner. Leonard with the steal. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. Here's George. And Covington sends it back. And stolen by Cousins. On the wing, Morris. He kicks it to Beverly. Outside Leonard. Shoots the 3. No good there. So it's the Clippers taking the win in a close one. Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's good.